Hello everybody, I'm Ramsis, and welcome back to Ramsis Retro Longplays. We're starting a brand new game series right here. And I figure we're a retro channel, we should be doing a retro game. The Retro Game Challenge, that is. That's right, the 2007/2009, depending on what version you're playing, game on the Nintendo DS. Yes, right at the fringes of our retro period. We go to about 2010 here, so right at the end of our retro period, but it is still retro. I dare anyone to say that the Nintendo DS is not a retro system at this point. It has a lot of games that are very retro feeling, and this is a game all about celebrating all things retro, the Retro Game Challenge. And there's a little bit of a history to this game, the American version versus the Japanese version, which it originally was. And of course, we're going to tell you all about it. So sit back, relax, enjoy as we start a brand new series. And I think this one's going to be fun. We honor all things retro here, and I can't imagine another way to celebrate it than playing a game that is all about retro gaming on a system. So yeah, this is going to be great. So it's Retroception, as best we call it, because we're playing a game about retro gaming on a retro system that wasn't retro at the time, but now that it's been almost 20 years, yeah, it's almost retro-ish. So yeah, it's going to be very cool. So what exactly is Retro Game Challenge? Well, released in North American markets by Xseed, yep, that's right, Xseed Games, and Namco also had a part in this, and it's pretty much a re-skin of a game based on a Japanese show called Game Center CX, with the star of it, Shinya Andrino, and it's all about playing retro games. So they made a game called Game Center CX, and they made it Retro Game Challenge in America, because we don't know what Game Center CX is. But it's a really popular show. I haven't seen it yet, and one day I do have to look into the Game Center CX show. I hear it's a great show, and retro fans like myself would get a kick out of it. But it's a Japanese exclusive show. So they made a whole game based on that, where you're honoring retro games on a portable system like this, and you have to beat all these retro games and meet certain conditions, and it's very similar to the theme of the show this is based on. But for the North American market, they just called it Retro Game Challenge, because we have no idea what Game Center CX is, so they just rebranded it. And it didn't do that well. I remember playing this game once, way back when, I guess it was 2010 or something like that, and I thought it was a blast. I thought it was a great way to homage old 8-bit system and stuff, but it did not do well here. It sold about 100,000 units in North America, and then fizzled out. So they made a second one, and that wasn't brought over to North America because the first didn't do well enough. But I thought that this was a great idea, and I think you guys are going to get a real kick out of this game. I really think you guys are going to enjoy this, especially if you like retro games, and we do like retro games here. How do I explain it? They're not really using actual games, but they're homaging the themes of games. So obviously it's made by the actual developer of this game is Indie Zero, and they obviously don't have the rights to all the old Nintendo, Konami, Capcom, etc., Acclaim games. So they had to do things in the style of. It's not going to be an actual retro game, but it's going to be in the style of a very familiar game. So we're going to try to figure out what games are they homaging here. And sometimes it'll be a mixture of more than one game at once, too. So that's kind of a cool thing they did here also. But it's definitely going to have the retro feels. And it's going to be more based on Famicom games. And obviously, if you guys don't know, Famicom is the Japanese version of what became the Nintendo Entertainment System in the United States. It was called the Famicom system in Japan. So that's a little history about it. Now, the game is going to be re-released on Nintendo Switch, but only, again, in Japanese markets. So sadly, we Americans here won't get to play the Nintendo Switch re-release of the game unless you have the Japanese access, which some people do, and I hope you do. It's going to be called Game Center CX Areno no Chosenejo 1+2 Replay, alright? Enjoy this. I think you guys are going to get a kick. I don't think there's anything else to say, except the sequel does have a patch, and we might look at that, so it does translate everything. And there was also a third one on the 3DS, again, only Japanese only. And that one we might not look at. There's no patch on that one. And I heard it's not that good anyway because Indie Zero had nothing to do with it. So anyway, yeah, I think this is going to be a blast. It's going to be a lot of tongue-in-cheek humor. You really need to know the show, though, that it's based on, because they're going to have a lot of jokes and characters and themes based on that show. But that doesn't ruin the fun of the game that we don't know what it's based off. We played many games here having no idea what they're referencing, because a lot of games are Japanese-based, and then they translated to English and we don't get the jokes, but it does make the game any less fun. So I think that's the type of game we're going to have here. So before we start up this latest retro game challenge here, that's right, retro game challenge on Ramsis Retro Longplays. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell if you like what C has something to say, and hopefully you guys do. I think you are going to have a lot to say on this one because this is going to be a fun, yet not really known series. Again, only 100,000 were sold here in the North American market, so maybe not everyone knows about this game. But I think you should know about this game. I think enough time's passed that now retro is retro, and a retro game on a retro system on a retro channel, well, it just seems too obvious a connection to do. So yeah, we're definitely going to do that. And don't forget to check out the main channel that this is spun off from Investors Retro Reviews, where retro is alive and well and not. That's not going anywhere anytime soon. Thank you for your support there as well. Check us out on that channel. And I think with that all out of the way, let's get right to the gaming. Here we go. Okay, so first thing you do is choose a player, and in this game they don't really give you many options. It's M or F, which obviously is male or female character, but you can't change anything. You know, in most games you can change the looks, tweak it a little bit, you have other options. Nope, this one you just have generic boy or girl, and it kind of sucks, it's too bad. But at least they give you an option, so you can choose from 2 players. We're just gonna choose the male. Here, I am a guy, so why not? We'll choose a male. But, you know, the female's cool too, she's fine, but we'll just go with this derpy looking guy here, he'll be fine. Alright, so male. And now very clearly you can see this box was made with the Japanese version of the game in mind. Look at how gigantic that box is, and there's like so much empty space because, yes, they squeezed all the letters into what was meant for Japanese characters. So there you go. So anyway, I am going to name the character Ramsis, of course, and you can do lowercase by doing that. Yep, there you go. Ramsis. Alright, that's it. We will finish. Alright, so Ramsis, that's who is going to be traveling in time here. Let's see what the story is. Game is fiction. Any resemblance between the characters herein and real persons or groups living or otherwise is purely coincidental. Yeah. Alright, so what do we got here? The storyline.
Utterly defeated by his friends in every current-gen multiplayer game, Arino longed to become a gaming master. His obsessive desire for complete dominance in the gaming world spawned a digitalized version of himself in his Nintendo DS. He came to be called Game Master Arino, and he began to haunt gamers around the world with retro game challenges. You have been chosen for his all-new game challenges from his home turf, the 80s.
Okay, here we go. So there he is. Like a virtual version of Arino here. Now you've done it. You've turned it on. Who am I? I am Game Master Arino. You're quite the gamer, yes? It's so obvious. I've waited so long. Finally, a worthy opponent. A duel with a true gamer. First, I'm sending you back in time to my childhood. You'll play the classics and try to beat my challenges. So anyway, sorry to do this to you, but I'm gonna have to turn you into a kid. Game on! And that's the catchphrase from the show this is based on, by the way, Game On. That's why it might seem a little ridiculous that he's throwing that in. That is the quote of the CX show this is based on. How does it feel to be a kid in the 80s? Pretty rad, huh? Beat my challenges and I'll turn you back. No retreat. No surrender. Saving. Alright, so we're now November 8th, 1984. Cosmic Gate. Alright, so that's going to be the first game we're going to play here. Alright, here we are. Who are you? What are you doing in my house? Me? I'm Arino. Who in the heck are you? Actually, Game Master, future, play games that go back? Wow, you're kinda weird. I got it. So you want to play games with me, right? Well, I guess we'll say that's right. We don't want to insult him or anything, even though I do, but we won't. That's right. Okay, I always wanted a friend to play games with. I just bought a new game, so let's try it out together. Ta-da! Look, Cosmic Gate. Heard of it? Cosmic Gate. I'm super popular. It's super popular at arcades. Yeah, of course I've heard of Cosmic Gate. I mean, I wasn't heard of Cosmic Gate. It's Cosmic Gate. Of course I've heard of it. What? Takes me back. It just came out in the arcades. You're in this cool fighter jet, and you shoot down insectors. Games like this in homes? Man, times have changed. Let's try it out. Cosmic Gate added to the games menu. How you feeling? Still amped? I see you got the first game, so here's your first challenge. Your challenge is this. Challenge number 1, Cosmic Gate. Beat stage 5. Beat this challenge by finishing stage 5. Don't skip any stages, alright? Clear the 5th stage of Cosmic Gates. Since it's the first one, I made it easy. If you warp past the 5th stage and never actually beat it, you fail. When that happens, touch the reset button located on the top right of the bottom screen to start over. Anyway, keep at it. Whoa, what was that? He looked kind of like me. What? Did you say that's me from the future? You gotta be kidding. No way, I'm a freak. But you said earlier, you really are from the future. How can I not believe you after seeing that? What are you waiting for? Come on, let's do this. You can't go back unless you beat his challenges, right? In the Games menu, pick the game you want to play. And select Play to start the game. So let's do this. You play, and I'll support you. Alright, so as you can see, we are in Areno's bedroom in the 1984, I think it's supposed to be. That is the year we're in. And you can see a rotary phone back there. You see a system that looks very much like the Famicom. Not the Nintendo, the Famicom, because this is a Japanese game, and they had the Famicom there. An old CRT TV, a calendar on the wall, and some books on the shelf. So yeah, very, very cool, very rustic, very old school. And now the object here is to play a game on his game system. It's a Famicom, but we'll call it just game system because they don't really state what system it is. And we have to beat the challenges. So the first challenge we got was get to level 5 without using any shortcuts. That means you have to play the game regularly, get to level 5, and then you beat the challenge. First challenge is always an easy one, so no surprise here. So let's see what we can do. You push A for menu, and look at all the screens we got. We got games, that's to see all the games available. Magazines, you can read any magazines and get more tips. No magazines available yet. Memo, that's notes you want to take. We don't have that yet. Chat, you can talk to the kid. We've already done that. So what we're going to do is go to games. So he crawls over there. Very good. And now it's Cosmic Gate, released November 8th, 1984. Developed by Tomato, or Tomato, whatever you want to call it. Kill mass insectors and return to Earth, alright? So we can just play it right now, or look at the manual, look at details. Let's see what details tells us. Alright, it tells us what the challenges are. First challenge is beat stage 5. There you go. Manual. What does manual do? Oh, look at that. It looks like an old NES instructions guide, which I think is the idea. So I'm not going to read it verbatim. I'm just going to quickly go through it just to show you what they got here. Tells you the story. Tells you how to play the game. So how is it? You use the control pad to move. You can fire 2 shots, and you push start to pause. That's it. Alright, this is what the battlefield looks like. After you hit enemies with your beam to defeat them all to clear a stage. Beware of brand attacks, get hit, and you'll lose a life. Reach 0 with game over. Okay. And there's an asteroid zone. Alright. Warp gates. Destroy the blinking point first to make the gate appear. Shoot the gate until the largest 3 times to activate it. Make the jump. Alright. Power-up items appear every 3 stages. Defeat the blinking boss to get it. Once you acquire the item, Infinity can shoot 3 shots in a row. The 3rd shot is armor-piercing. Alright, so that's important to remember. So you can't get it on every stage. It's every 3 stages, alright? Alright, I think that's it. Alright, I think we're ready. Let's just do it. I think we're ready to play the game. Let's try it. This shouldn't be too hard. This is the first episode here. And I don't think this will be too difficult, but I haven't played this in a very long time, obviously. That's why this is a retro playthrough. We are reliving our past through a game about retro living your past. Again, irony or retroception, whatever you want to call it. Push A, push play. Here we go.
Game on!
Look at that. It looks like just a NES or a Famicom screen loading up. Cosmic Gate, push start. 1984 tomato. And do they have like a little demo screen? Let's see. Yeah, they do. Galactic Gear 2550 whilst patrolling around, whatever. On your way back to Earth, aboard your fighter, your blah blah blah, challenge blah blah. Now, okay. So I can see a lot of stuff going on here. Let's just push start. Alright, so it's like a Galaga game, obviously, right? Okay. Now don't forget, you don't get the super thing until before the asteroid stage. Remember, every third stage. So we can't get it yet. And you have to avoid... It's just like Galaga, pretty much. Yeah, avoid the little lasers coming down. Yeah, and there you go. That's it. Alright. Avoid all that. Alright, so that should be our power-up right there. Yes, and we're gonna go for it. And there it is. And there we go. Alright, we're powered up now. So now the third shot should be... Yep, and there you go. See? If you use that, you get more points. So that's important to have. And since you only get it, not every stage, but only like every third stage, you gotta be careful not to lose it, right? There we go. Alright, now we're in the asteroid zone. The instructions mention that. Let's see what this is. Alright, so we're just shooting asteroids. Alright, that's cool. And the bigger ones obviously give more points. And if you shoot more than one with the Pierce... Uh-oh, let's see if we can get this. Yep, we did it. That was good. We get a lot of points with the big one there. And I'm sure this is going to get a lot harder as the stages go. See if we can get this. Yep, we did it. Alright, not bad, not bad. How many did we get? 27. Oh, there you go. You get a bonus for it. Yeah, this is just like an old school game. It's a recreation, and it's not a real game. It's just they create it in the style of, which I think is very cool. And you gotta be careful. Yeah, wow, that was good. So you gotta try to get all these. Let's see if we can do it. Yeah, that was good. And the Areno guy is very excited for you. There we go. Oh, look out. Okay. Alright, well, look out. Yep, we got it. And nope, we didn't get him. And we got him. Alright. Alright, stage 5. We beat this. We already won the challenge. It's just like that, yeah. That was good. If you get them when they're coming out, you can get even more points. That's cool. You gotta use your missile, though, yeah. And I think that's it. Yep. Hey, you're pretty good. Not bad at all. Be honest. You've played this game a lot, right? First time, or honestly, I'm gonna say honestly, I think this kid probably would have played it, right? I mean, we are from the future, so yeah, we would have played it. I knew it. Your thumb gave you away. You got some fast thumbs. Oh yeah, if you want to know more about the games, I have game magazines in the bookshelf you can read. Select magazines in the menu to read them anytime. There's coverage of games including hints and cheats. Game Fan Magazine, December 84, added to the magazines menu. Oh, and, well, I guess you might not need it, but you can read a game's manual from Manual. By the way, do you read manuals before getting stuck? Well, if I'm being honest, yes, and I've already admitted this in other gameplays I've done. I do read the instruction manual. I know I am that weird person who actually looked at the instructions when they were available. You know how it was when you rented a game, most of the times they didn't have instructions. But when the instructions were available or I owned the game, I did actually read it, so I'm gonna say why not? Oh, so you're one of those. Yeah, I just said I was. Me? I never ever read manuals. I feel like I'm cheating or something when I do. I'm like, whatever. So, you beat it. However, the fun has just begun. Your next challenge is this. The challenge is to find and use 2 warp gates before your ship gets destroyed. Alright, so pretty much just warp twice before the end of the game. And that's not that hard either. I'll show you how that's done next time. In Cosmic Gate, make a warp gate appear and warp twice. How do you make warp gates appear? You don't know? If you don't know that, you're already blown this challenge. Anyway, keep it up. That is me in the future, right? What do I do in the future? Play games or eat bugs. I'm gonna say play games because I don't think bugs. I'm gonna say play games. What? Are you serious? I play video games all day? Awesome! But I'm super happy. The future me is so red. But I kinda feel bad for being so lucky. Alright, I'm cutting back on games. I can play when I grow up. No need to hurry now. So you can play for now, but would you know later? Just let me play just a little? Yeah, I guess so. Alright, let's look at the magazine and then we'll wrap this up. I think this has been a pretty good start to this new review series here. Let's see what the magazine shows. So over time, this is going to fill up with a lot of magazines, and it's going to give you more and more and more hints for all the games. So it's important to look at this. It is kind of like a Nintendo Power. I think that's what they're referencing here, or something in that vein, because there's a lot more magazines than just Nintendo Power, as you all know. So I think it's supposed to be in the vein of it, but this is going to cover games that all over the spectrum. So as you know, we're in November, and this is the December issue. So yeah, this is going to cover things that already came out, obviously. So let's see what it says. Alright, again, we're not going to read the whole thing. We'll just quickly look through it. So there you go. That's the chapters. Alright, here we go. So we do want to read the tips. That's the important part. At the top of the enemy formations are the boss enemies. When they attack, they take 2 guards with them. If you destroy both guards before the boss character, receive technical bonus. Use this for higher scores. Max point 400 times 4 points. Alright, so that's good to know. Stages with nothing but asteroids are called asteroid zones. Destroy as many asteroids as you can to make that high score a reality. Larger asteroids are worth more. Alright, well, we figured that point out. Notice the flashing enemy to the left. Kill this enemy first. So you can't shoot anything else. You have to shoot this first, and then the warp gate opens. And then you have to shoot the warp gate itself to go through it. Alright, so there you go. That's how you do it. Alright, what's this? Blast the mid-sized asteroids in the asteroid zone to make an extra life item appear on the right appear. Extra lives increase your chances of finishing the game, so be sure not to miss it when they appear. Alright, so we haven't had any yet, but the mid-sized asteroids should have 1-ups show up sometimes, so we have to look for that. And there's some games here. Super Kung Fu Fighting, Wild West Showdown, Super Smash Tennis, Chess, and Baseball. Yeah, chess. Okay. I think we're going to leave it at that. I think that was a good start to our series here. I think this is going to be a lot of fun looking back at the game all about retro gaming on a retro system. That's sort of retro. I mean, it's at the end of our retro period, but it still counts. It is a 2009 game, which is retro. And I think it's going to be great looking back at this. I played this once, but it was a very long time ago, so I really do not really remember this game. I do remember enjoying it, and now that's even more nostalgic. I think it's kind of like a double meaning. We're looking at a nostalgic game about nostalgia, so it's kind of nostalgia, which is really just a fun little thing to look here on Ramsis Retro Longplays. Alright, I think that's going to be it for this episode. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this, and I think it will. Sit back, relax, buckle in. This is going to be a long playthrough, and I think it'll be a worthwhile one. So, I'll leave it for now. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell if you like what C has something to say. Hopefully you guys do. Check us out on our main channel, Vestige Retro Reviews, where retro is alive and well, not going anywhere anytime soon. And I'll see you all next time for more Retro Game Challenge on the Nintendo DS 2009 game. This was a lot of fun, and it's based on a game, a show in Japan, remember that, but it was all, the wording was all changed for the American version, so we don't know anything about the show, so just realize if it seems weird, if you're a fan of that show in Japan, you would realize all the jokes within. Still good. Alright, see you all next time, everybody. Take care. See you then. Bye, everybody.